Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Interviewing the Legends. I'm your host, Ray Shasho. In almost their fifth decade of making music and continuing the tradition that they helped create, Saxon are still a tour de force in heavy metal music. Saxon were the leaders of the new wave of British heavy metal. They had 8 UK top 40 albums in the 1980s, including four UK top 10 albums and two top five albums. They had numerous singles on the UK singles chart and chart success all over Europe and Japan, as well as successes in the US. During the 1980s, Saxon established themselves among Europe's most successful metal acts. The band toured regularly and has sold more than 13 million albums worldwide. Originally named Son of a Bitch, the band changed their name to Saxon in 1979. Saxon have been cited as a major influence as inspiration by numerous bands, including Motley Crue, Metallica, Megadeth, Slayer, Anthrax, Pantera, Testament, Dokken, Skid Row, Dream Theater, Exodus, Overkill, King Diamond, and Celtic Frost. Saxon will release their brand new album, Hellfire and Damnation, on January 19th. And when internationally renowned actor Brian Blessed delivers a proclamation for opening track, The Prophecy, expectations are automatically high. Have no fear and make no mistake. Saxon meet and exceed them on their 24th studio album, creating a superlative British heavy metal classic, which strides the perfect line between confident current power and gloriously irrelevant flexing of the new wave of British heavy metal muscle, which Saxon co created. Please welcome the lead singer, songwriter, bassist, and founding member of British heavy metal legends, Saxon, Biff Byford, to Interviewing the Legends. Hello, sir.
Wow, that was a big build-up.
Well, you've been around a long time, man.
Yeah, you forgot scoundrel as well. Yeah, yeah, it's good to be there with you on Zoom. Yeah,
Are you in the UK today?
yeah, I'm in the UK. I'm in my studio actually with the lights, Christmas
Yeah,
lights. So yeah, good. Yeah,
awesome. Let me tell you, man, the new album was blown away. I think it's one of the best albums the band has created. Okay. And
yeah,
here's
it's a monster of an
it's
album,
a
definitely.
monster. It really is. Here's what I said about it. Okay. Heavy metal master Saxon conquers on their latest release, Hellfire and Damnation, with blazing guitars and almighty voice and verse about times of yore, a triumphant return to the glory days of metal supremacy, masterfully engineered, a metal masterpiece. And I gave it 5 stars. I hope that's okay.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, it's great.
It's
As long as
incredible.
it's not.
I totally enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's great. It's a good album. I mean, it's not been. We only finished it on October the 15th. So it's clearly new to our ears and obviously yours as well. But the select few people that have heard it, like yourself, are all they all think it's brilliant. So that's our job is half done really. All we need now is a fantastic tour to promote it, and we're there. You
You're
know.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you got a tour starting. I think it's in March, right? Sometime in March.
Yeah, we start in the UK with Judas Priest and
Hmm.
Uriah Heep. Um, we weren't going to release it until November of next year, but Judas, asked us to do this arena tour with them, and we said yeah, and they said, well, we're going out in March. We were like, well, that's not long, so got our act together and pulled it out of the bag really. So yeah, we're touring America in April. I think we start in the US on the 23rd of April, I think.
Hmm.
I think that's in Fort Lauderdale. So, but
Oh,
don't
awesome.
don't sort of quote me on that.
Right. Yeah, I'm in Florida, so I'm looking forward to you guys coming around. Hopefully, it'll be in my area, which is Tampa Bay. Uh, I'd love to
I
see
don't
you
know.
guys
Yeah, I don't know where that's near. Where's it near?
on the west coast of Florida.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm sure we will. Yeah, and then
Yeah.
yeah.
Who are you playing with in the
We're
US?
going out with you. We're going out in the co-headline with you, right? Heat.
Okay,
So
great.
it's sort of it's sort of 70s and 80s really, rock and
Right.
metal together. That's going to be good. They're a great band.
I've had Mick on the show several times.
Yeah.
And I've had a lot of the old Heap guys. Lee, Ken Hensley was on the
All
show.
right. Yeah.
All the
Great.
great guys, man.
Yeah,
I
great.
was a big Uriah Heep fan for many years.
Yeah, me
Uh,
too.
you mentioned you know what I love about this album too? It's historic. The tracks are about something from the past, something significant about the past. Um,
Yeah, I mean, I'm a storyteller, so the history is great. They're all good stories, interesting stories, and some of them are evil and some of them are good.
well, it's about good and evil, basically.
It is,
Uh,
yeah, it is, yeah.
yeah. Um, I'd like the name of the album, which actually came from your dad. Is that right?
It is, yeah. My dad used to say it. It's got sort of religious overtones. I was brought up quite religious in our family. My mum used to play the church organ and things. So I used to have to go to church quite a lot. So my dad used to say, like, hellfire and damnation, what have you been doing now? So that was his way of getting mad with me. So a couple of years ago, I was thinking of song titles for my little song title book, and
Hmm.
yeah, that went in there, Hellfire and Damnation. But obviously, the way he said it, Hellfire was one word, but the way I've done it, it's like hell, separate, fire, and damnation. So it just fits better with the song, I think.
Hmm. I like you said when you were messing up his cabbage patch or carving things into the kitchen table.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of that goes on when you're a bored young lad.
Were you kind of a rowdy kid growing up?
I wasn't that rowdy. I was a bit of a rebel, I was a bit I was a bit of a dreamer actually, so that was the problem I had. I couldn't really focus on much. But I had an interest in music at school and
Hmm.
history, and I suppose that stood me in good stead. Music and history. There you go.
Yeah, I love the titles of this album. And you start out, I'm going to go over a few tracks. The Prophecy, which has Mr. Brian Blessed. And how did you get him to appear?
We know him. He's a
You know?
friend, and
Okay.
we've known him. He's introduced us on stage a couple of times. He's from the same town as we're from, so
Hmm.
he's a Yorkshireman. And yeah, we met him last year on a festival, and we got to talking about things, and it just crossed my mind at that time. I thought, Brian would be great if we wanted to do like a 1980s type intro to the album, like Thriller or Number of the Beast or one of them beginnings where it's spoken word.
Hmm.
So I sent him a message. I said, I've got this thing I've written called The Prophecy. Would you say it for me? And he said, yeah, I'll do it. And he's obviously got a studio where he does voiceovers, for adverts and things and
Right.
films. And yeah, he did it for me and sent it back. He sent back loads of things as well, like funny stories. And he did the big, his big one is the from Flash Gordon, like
Hmm.
Gordon's alive, all that sort of thing. So he did a Saxon's alive for us. And I think if you listen closely on Pirates of the Airwaves, you'll hear him in the
Hmm.
radio station at the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a great voice. He really does. And
Yes.
it's a great intro to the album. Hellfire and Damnation, the video, on YouTube, it's really getting a lot of hits. And there's some
It
great
is. It's
feedback.
doing it's doing fantastically well. Yeah, I mean we're
Yeah.
really happy about that. We've picked up. I mean, I think record company said that 60% of the hits are from the USA. So that's good. That's
Hmm.
good for it because it means that you know, our profile in America is coming back up again. So that's really great, actually.
Well, we've been inundated with the likes of Taylor Swift and people like that, and we're just sick and tired of it, man. It's like rock and roll's been so, and heavy metal's been so, you know, distant for such a long time now. We're just tired of it. So
Yeah.
we need Saxon.
We need Saxon. We need getting Madam Guillotine on daytime radio.
That's
That would do
right.
it.
Daytime
Yeah,
radio. Yeah.
get some rock on there.
That would be awesome. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's a cool track, Madam Guillotine. I love that one. The lyrics are incredible on that one.
Yeah, it's a good tune, that one. I like that one. Nice,
Yeah,
strong chorus. The chorus is a bit Alice Cooperish, I think. I wanted to
exactly.
get that sort of theatrical thing that Alice does really well. You
Yeah.
know.
Well, you're gonna make a lot of conspiracy theorists very, very happy with there's something in Roswell.
Yeah. I like conspiracies though. I like these conspiracy
Me too.
theories. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't done a. I did one like Dallas 1 p.m. You know, the grassy
Hmm.
knoll. We did that one back in the 80s, and really interesting. You know, sad but very interesting. And Roswell's the same, really. I mean, Roswell is ground zero for a lot of UFO enthusiasts.
That's right.
And the first major happening that was publicized, and then the government covered it up almost immediately.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean it's a great thing. I mean, I'm I'm a believer, but I'm not like obsessed with it. But I'm on the side of a believer rather than an unbeliever with
Sure.
Roswell. I think something probably did happen in Roswell, actually.
I think you're right. When my dad was in the hospital, his bunkmate next to him, I had a talk with him, and he was in the military for years and years, and we talked about Roswell, and he says there are things going on there. He can't talk about it, but yes,
Yeah, I wish one of these guys that talk about it though. It's
I
annoying. You know, like, yeah, I was there. I can't really talk about it.
yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
for God's sake, man, come
Yeah.
on. Hellfire and damnation. Tell us.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what my dad would say. For God's sake, tell us the truth. Anyway, I'm a believer.
Me
Yeah.
too. Have you been to Roswell?
No, but I'm going on the American tour.
Oh, good. Yeah,
I'm
that'd be
going to,
great.
I'm going to go out. I'm going to go and have an alien burger in the
Yeah,
in the in the in the in the Flying Saucer Cafe. Yeah,
you should have a
maybe I
concert out
think
there. Yeah,
yeah, I think it's going to be our next single video, Roswell. But
awesome.
I'd really like to make a video there actually, and go
Hmm.
over there and get arrested by the men in black and make a
That would
video.
make
It'd be great.
great
Yeah,
headlines and would sell a lot of albums.
it would. Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Posthumously, they never hear of me again though.
I know.
Like rock singer disappears in Roswell. There you
Exactly.
go. We told
Yeah.
you there was something there. Yeah,
It's a good story though, you know?
yeah, it's a great story.
Yeah. I talked to a lot of rock legends like yourself. I talked to Michael Pinder, from the Moody Blues. He
Yeah, yeah.
huge believer, and he actually saw a fleet of UFOs in the sky when he was younger.
Well, we saw a UFO. We think we saw a UFO in San Diego back
Hmm.
in 1981, I think. But we don't know if it was. But unless they come down and sort of say hi,
Yeah,
I mean, you don't
exactly.
know. You don't know what they are. But yeah, we thought we saw something in the sky, in the night sky, above Denny's somewhere. So yeah. But I'm not a sort of. I'm not a fanatical believer,
Right,
but
right.
I'm a believer. You know what I mean?
Well, something's going on for sure. I mean, there's been too many sightings by the military, you know. Uh,
Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of stuff that they can't explain,
yeah.
and all that area, Roswell, and then you go into like the Area 51 area. It's
Hmm.
all sort of in that sort of same-ish area, isn't
Hmm.
it? So yeah,
remember that they were threatening to have thousands of people storm the gates. It was they did it over Facebook,
Right.
and it never happened, of course, because the military
No.
threatened they were going to shoot everybody. But I would have liked that to seen that happen. Everybody storming the gate to try to find out what's happening. That would have been kind of
Yeah.
neat. I like the lyrics of the song too. Like, just tell the truth. You got to let go. We don't believe the
Yeah.
lies,
Yeah. I think it's the same for all conspiracy theories. I think there's always some form of cover up.
Hmm.
So that's the thing, isn't it? But it's an interesting lyric, and I
Yeah,
like the story.
it's a great
It's
story.
interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Um, Kubla Khan and the Merchant of Venice is interesting because uh, Kubla Khan and Marco Polo had kind of a thing together, didn't they?
They did, yeah. He was one of the first Western sort of traders to go there. He was the
Hmm.
first guy to write about China,
Right.
about nobody knew about gunpowder, nobody knew about silk, nobody knew about the pottery, the Ming vases and all that sort of thing. So obviously it hadn't been done by then, but generally it was a very advanced civilization that
Hmm.
nobody knew anything about. And Marco Polo went there, and Kubla Khan obviously took him under his wing, and he was a pretty important person in the
Hmm.
palace. Yeah, so it's just a good story, isn't it?
Very good
And
story.
actually,
Yeah,
Kubla Khan is such a great word to sing.
it is.
You
Yeah.
know, my original idea was to write a song about Kubla Khan,
Hmm.
uh, but I thought, no, I'm going to do it a bit different. I'm going to do it about Marco Polo and Kubla Khan, and yeah, it's I like the story.
Yeah, you've definitely brushed up on your history, that's for sure. I can tell you enjoyed history as a kid.
Yeah, well, yeah, like I say, I'm a storyteller. I write
Yeah.
lyrics that bring images to your mind, and yeah, I mean, yeah, there's a great sort of docudrama on Marco Polo
Hmm.
on one of the stations. I don't know which one, but I watched that a couple of times. That's a good one to watch.
It's a good name for a band too, Marco Polo, you know,
It is, and Kubla Khan is as
and
well.
Kublai Khan. That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, the next track, which is very cool, dear to my heart, because I was a top 40 DJ back in the late 70s. So I went through the training of with CBS and all that.
Mhm.
Pirate Radio, Pirate of the Airways, which was, you know, very cool back in the day. You had Radio Luxembourg, of course, Radio Caroline. I've watched the documentaries on the radio, the pirate ships. They're very interesting, you know. And
Yeah, it's interesting. I was like a young teenager when that was all happening in the 60s.
hmm.
And I remember my brother had a little Japanese transistor radio,
Right.
and sort of pinched it off him. And I'd sit under the covers in bed, tuning into
Hmm.
these stations that were playing all the really great pop and rock songs
Great
of the day,
music.
because the BBC, banned it, and the government were trying to close them down all the time. So it was a bit of a great story, that, and there's a revolution happened with music in the
Hmm.
'60s, called the swinging '60s, like
That's right.
with the mini skirts and the music, and all the Rolling Stones and all those bands came from that period, really. So, it's about time somebody did a song about it. I think I mentioned an American station in there as well, WKSC,
Hmm.
which was one of the very first stations to play rock music. So yeah, US radio is in there somewhere.
I talked to a lot of Brits about growing up, and most of them learned about music from their older brothers, and they got the albums and that kind of thing. But you didn't have the radio right in England like we did. You had the BBC, which was
That's right,
nothing.
and it closed down at 10 o'clock at night as well.
Yeah,
So there was no music after 10. So we all had to go to bed and get up in the morning and work, go come home, have dinner, go to bed. That's the sort of society it was. And as youngsters, we were like rebelling against that.
Hmm.
We wanted entertainment after 10. We wanted entertainment all night. And yeah, I mean, these pirate radio stations went 24/7.
Right.
So it was great. It was great.
No, it makes it amazing because the Brits were, the music was incredible. You guys invented so much stuff back in the early 60s, and you
Yeah,
didn't have the
definitely.
exposure like we did.
No, no, and we used to listen. A lot of American music were on the pirate stations as well.
Hmm.
So yeah, so but a lot of that, 60s revolution, the English, like the British public, never heard it. They just read about it being, devil's music, bad for the
Hmm.
youth. That's what they used to say. It'll turn the youth. There'll be no, they'll be having sex on the streets. There'll be no rules. It's like, the world was going to end if youngsters heard the Rolling Stones.
Right.
So obviously it didn't happen because it's music. It's not, it's
You know, the
entertainment, isn't it?
the British were so much more than the British invasion, And first of all, you guys brought the blues back, with guys like John Mayall,
Yeah,
Savoy Brown, it was dead for a long time, and you guys brought it back, and you guys invented, thank you, progressive rock. It was you guys,
yeah,
and you guys don't get enough credit for that.
yeah. Definitely.
And British metal. I mean, you've the things that you did. I would you say the Brits invented metal, or that's always been a kind of
Well,
a
Black Sabbath would say they did, yeah,
yeah,
and maybe Led Zeppelin as well.
right,
So it's just that playing those heavy blues riffs, they're unrecognizable when they're played like Zeppelin and Sabbath. But it is basically those guys, Tony Iommi and Jimmy Page, who did the blues. They played the blues. They just reinvented the
right.
guitar, really. You know what I mean? That guitar sound. And yeah, I mean, it went through the roof, didn't it? Everybody was doing it then.
Oh yeah, I think Black Sabbath. That's my choice as far as because they were really heavy. I mean, it was
Really
pretty
heavy.
obvious.
Yeah,
But I think Saxon
definitely.
to the next level.
Yeah, we took it to we took it to another place,
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, we all have our sort of little place in music history,
yeah,
um, especially with British metal,
right.
definitely.
Oh yeah, for sure. 1066, you did it again. The Battle of Hastings.
Yeah, definitely. I mean,
Oh my gosh, that is so cool.
I did a song with a band called A Man of Moth. I wrote a song with them called Saxons and Vikings,
Right.
and I wrote the Saxon lyrics in there. And I thought it's pretty cool. This, singing about the battle between the Saxons and the Vikings, which
Hmm.
the Saxons won, by the way.
Right. Okay.
Um, I might as well ring about the next, like 600 years later, another battle happened between the
Hmm.
Saxons and the Normans, and the Normans wiped out the Saxons. So it's a little bit of a song about the demise of the Saxons, really. But yeah, it's an interesting story. I mean, people can Google it on Wikipedia or anything like that. It's a great story. The king got the arrow in the eye. And yeah, it's brilliant, really brilliant, brilliant history.
Was that King Harold Godwinson? Was he the king?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, he was. Yeah, William the Conqueror. They were
Right.
cousins. Battling for the throne of England,
Yeah.
and yeah,
I
great
love
stuff.
it. I've never been to England, but I love castles, and I would go
Ah,
nuts there, man.
yeah, you should definitely go to England. I mean, if
Yeah.
you come to England, you need to come for a month at least and have a look around all the castles. I mean, you've got everything in England. You've got tons of stuff in Scotland. You've got stuff in Wales, and you've got stuff in Ireland as well. So you have to,
Yeah.
if you're going to study history, you have to go to all those places, and have a look.
We just lost a good friend of ours from Wales. and he was, pretty big businessman in Wales. Nice guy, really good guy too. He told me all about the Welsh culture, and it's amazing. The
Yeah,
Welsh are so um, by themselves as a country compared to the rest of England. They do so many things on their own. I mean, the language and the writing and everything is so different.
yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, I mean, they're basically Celts, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly.
Celtic people. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, you finished the album with two really great tunes. Witches of Salem, which I loved. Did some history on that. 200 people were
yeah,
accused back in the day between 1692 and 1693.
they
30,
were.
30 people were found guilty. 19 women
Yeah,
were executed by
yeah,
hanging or burnt, I guess. Five people died in jail. That's a crazy time, wasn't it?
crazy time.
Oh my God.
Even more in the UK, because the witch trial started in the UK and
Right.
Scotland, and then sort of moved over to America. That paranoia came in, that if you have something wrong, it's Satan, and the witches are in league with Satan. So a lot of people got accused, and
Mhm.
I mean, apparently they burnt the first witch in Salem, but the people were so disgusted by it that they hung everybody after that.
Huh.
So yeah, that it must have been horrendous, and a lot of paranoia and revenge, and
Right.
just crazy times, really.
That's kind of a tourist attraction now in Massachusetts.
Yeah, it will be. It's like
Yeah.
it's a famous place, Salem. Um, there's been films about it and documentaries about it, and it was just a crazy period, really,
Mm.
of history. That yeah, it's somebody should do a song about it,
Oh
because
yeah.
those poor
Sure.
those poor women were obviously innocent,
Yep.
and they were killed for um, just paranoia, really.
Yeah. Were you a Game of Thrones fan?
Yeah, I didn't really watch it for a long time, and then I suddenly binge watched it all in one go over about 4 days. So
Yeah.
that was really great, Really good.
That was the number one show, you know?
Yeah, it was the number one show. It was a great show.
It was a fantastic show.
Yeah,
I
I
don't think
loved it.
they can't repeat that show again. I don't think.
No, probably not. No, I mean, I like Lord of the Rings. I watched that first,
Right,
and then I
right.
moved over to the other thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
Actually, my phone's going to go flat, so I'm just
Oh my
walking
goodness.
through here trying to get my charger. So
Okay.
yeah,
Well,
maybe we should.
the album finishes with Supercharger. It's actually a great rocker tune.
Yeah,
Awesome
it is. Yeah,
guitars.
that's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to write a song about drag racing.
Yeah.
I used to go watch the drag racing in England on the American Air Base. There
Right.
was an American Air Base at the south of where I lived, and they used to build American, American GRs, and that used to build their own drag races, and we always used
Hmm.
to go and watch them. So that's quite interesting, and that need for speed that we all have. It's
Oh yeah.
fantastic.
Do you know Brian Johnson from AC/DC?
I do, yeah.
Big
I've not
part
met
on
him
it.
for
Yeah.
quite a long time though, but yeah, I know him. I've met him a few times back in the day. Yeah.
He's got a house here. He's here like half the year or something like that
Oh,
in the
great.
Sarasota area. Yeah. Sometimes he
Oh,
drops
cool.
by pubs and hangs out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Nice guy. Um, I want to mention Paul Quinn is not going to be on the touring band anymore. Is that right?
No, he's not touring with us anymore.
Okay.
And yeah, so it's sad really, but he had enough. His fingers were getting a bit of rheumatism, and
Right.
yeah, he just wasn't enjoying it anymore. I don't think. I think
Yeah.
that's the truth.
Right.
it wasn't enjoying it. And I think when you get to that point, I think then it's the time to think, am I enjoying this or am I just doing it for the money?
Yeah,
So, he just decided he had enough, really.
exactly. I want to mention real quick your autobiography, Never Surrender. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, which is out. Everybody should go, I guess, Amazon.com. You can purchase your autobiography. I didn't get a chance to read it yet, but I'm going to.
yeah, it's all right. Quite good fun writing it. It's good fun.
Yeah. Your solo album, School of Hard Knocks, is great. I love it.
Yeah, yeah.
I love the
There's some good
video.
tunes on there. Yeah,
You
good
did,
tunes on there.
did a wonderful job on that.
Yeah,
I love the video of you and your son Seb. Me and my son have a relationship like you do. My son's in his 30s and he's a drummer. I play guitar, so we've jammed
yeah,
together. But it's so funny. The one that you keep screwing up. You know which one I'm talking
yeah, yeah,
about?
yeah. Yeah, you mean the podcast we did in COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, they're great. Them, yeah, I like them as well.
I think you did black and white, outside looking in. It was kind of an
Yeah,
acoustic
yeah,
set you guys are doing together. Everybody needs to go see that because that was very entertaining.
yeah, good fun.
Very good fun. And you did Scarborough Fair on that album, right? Which
Yeah,
was very interesting. I haven't heard it
yeah,
played like that, or I haven't heard the song in a long time. You also did Painted Black. You did a great job on that.
yeah. I mean, the thing of the Scarborough Fair, it's a Yorkshire folk song.
Right.
Uh, Simon and Garfunkel obviously made it famous, but it's been around for hundreds of years. That song. I mean, Scarborough's an actual place. It's not far from where I live on the
Hmm.
sea, North Sea here. So yeah, and used to have a big fair back in the day, and that's where it's at.
Oh, that's interesting. Huh. A lot of
Yeah.
people probably don't know that, you know.
No.
What about the heavy water band? Is anything going to be happening with that in the future or
Well, yeah, we keep threatening on doing a few shows together.
right?
Going out and doing a bit of playing. I mean, it's had a lot of streams, that album. So there's quite a lot of people know it. They know the album and know who's in the band. So yeah, we might do that. But Saxon are uber busy at the moment,
Right.
so we can't really fit anything else in, to tell you the truth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, you got a big tour coming up too.
yeah, massive tour. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to mention too, Inspirations album. I really love that one. You did all your favorite covers, I guess. Um,
Well, yeah, we did all the songs that influenced us, really. You know.
Great job on that. I think my favorites, Evil Woman was probably one of my favorites on that. And
Yeah,
Painted Black, of course. You did a great job on Speed King. Um,
yeah.
yeah, the Rocker, Bomber. I mean, great list. I mean, I approve of
Yeah,
your
that's the
selections.
first one, isn't it? That's the first one you're talking about, not
Yeah,
the second one. Yeah,
right. The first one.
yeah, 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 yeah. It's a cool game to sing all them songs. I like them, but they're not easy to sing though. There's some quite hard songs there. Yeah, singing songs Ian Gillan sings.
Hmm.
He's a fantastic singer.
Yes, he is. Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know how you do it all these years, man. Your voice has gotten better.
yeah. It's got a lot better now. It's gone really. I've learned to sing eventually. So yeah, it's very good.
Do you take care
Yeah,
of your voice or?
I try to, but I try to. Yeah, especially when we're touring,
Hmm.
try and rest a lot, not talk too much
Right.
to DJs.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm overstepping the boundary right now, right?
If I was singing tonight, I'm gonna have to go in a minute. I've got another interview.
Here's your last question, okay?
Okay.
I ask everybody this question. I get some really interesting answers. If you had a Field of Dreams wish, like the movie, which is my favorite movie, to perform or collaborate with anyone from the past or present, who would that be?
Oh, it would have to be. What would it be? Let's see. It'd have to be. Oh yeah, I'd like to do something with Hendrix. That would be good. I
With
think.
Hendrix. Yeah,
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
that would be cool. Definitely.
Yeah. I'd have
Biff,
to
I want
tell
to
him he
say,
couldn't. I'd have to tell him he couldn't sing, obviously. But you know, I'd play bass in that band.
oh
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Hendrix always said thought he couldn't sing, but I thought he was perfect for, the
Yeah,
way
the
he,
blues singer is great.
yeah,
Great singer.
I thought
Yeah,
so too.
fitted perfectly. Yeah.
Sure. I want to say
Yeah,
real quick,
he wasn't a screamer, but
no,
he was a good singer.
he was a
He
good
got a
singer.
lot of soul, got a lot
Yep,
of soul in his voice, I think.
exactly. I want to say special thanks to Doug Weber, of course, of New Ocean Media for arranging this interview with Biff. You can
Brilliant.
pre-order the new album now from Saxon, Hellfire and Damnation. It's available, I guess, on your website, or there's actually a link set Saxon, Hellfire, and Damnation. I guess you can go right to that
Yeah,
link.
yeah. Go on YouTube. Have a look, watch the video, and you can actually pre-order from that if you click on it. So yeah, plenty of places you can order the album.
Okay,
So yeah,
fantastic.
we're coming over there in April. So get your albums bought, and yeah,
And you start the tour Monday, March 11th in Glasgow, is where,
we
yep,
do. And
Judas
don't forget,
Priest, Uriah
be
Heep is
careful with
coming.
your be careful with your head, right?
Yeah. Biff, thank you so much, man, for being on the show today. I
No
really
problem, man.
appreciate
Have
it.
a great Christmas and a happy
All right.
New Year, and we'll see everybody next year.
Next year. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
keep the faith.
All
See
right,
you
you too.
later. You too.
Take,
Bye.
bye-bye.